All right, guys, we are live.
Hey guys, welcome.
Welcome to GRBY Talk.
We are going to give it just a minute for everyone to get started, but we don't want to wait too long because a cool fact about GRBY Talk is we're going to this year also be adding it to podcast format when we are through. So if you do not have a chance to listen to it live, you can listen to it on, Spotify or anything like that while you're driving or walking or something. But we also love having it on YouTube so that we can talk to you guys live and answer all your questions and stuff like that. So we are so excited to have you guys here and to get GRBY Talk started. Hey, Tom, it's good to see you. On this episode, we are going to go over all the new rules because there's a couple of rule changes. We're going to go over the new tournament opportunities that I'm super excited about. It's going to be incredibly fun. I know the details and I want to give like big blurbs now, but I'm supposed to save it for later. So I'm going to wait, but it's going to be really cool. So make sure you stick around for the new tournaments that are coming our way. And for anybody who is brand new to GRBY and has not been here yet, GRBY is a kayak tournament series that was brought here with the idea of making sure everyone had something local that they could go to, didn't have to travel and have a lot of lodging expenses and things of that nature, easy accessible to everyone in our state, which is incredible. And it's also super flexible because it's a 5-day format and you can pick your day, which was so nice. And it's a big reason why that we love GRBY so much. I would have not been able to do tournaments without this format. Having one so close to home and being able to pick my day with having kids was literally the best thing that I could have had. So it's part of the reason why I love GRBY so much and am so excited to help it grow this year. He also got started in it through GRBY.
Yeah. So for me, getting my first experience with GRBY was actually meeting Brian Sprayu, who originally ran GRBY Talk. I was out fishing a lake on a day that happened to be a GRBY tournament day, and ran into him as I was loading the kayak back up at the end of the day. And he stopped, talked to me for a little while, and kind of talked about the group. I had told him that I had heard of them, but really was pretty nervous to try to fish any kind of tournaments because I really didn't have much bass fishing experience. And he talked about how welcoming the group was, and it turned out to be just exactly as he had talked, because my first time on the water, I ran into a few guys on the water that were out there. It was a tough day of fishing, and everyone was like, hey, here's what I'm catching them on and stuff like that. So that was really cool. So yeah, definitely happy to help out something that really got me started into bass fishing.
Yes, so we both love it. We're both excited. The big goal, everybody's working so hard behind the scenes. There's so much going on that even though I knew there's a lot that went on behind the scenes, I've seen a little bit more of it over the last few months. And there's just so much. And so I'm really excited to help it grow. And there's ways that you guys can help it grow too. First off, sharing, liking, commenting.
Yes.
It helps more than you even think to help reach new anglers and take this places that you guys you want things here and there and stuff like that. In order to do that, if you guys will share, like, and comment, that would be so great.
Yeah.
Also with GRBY Talk itself, one thing that we really want to incorporate is things like clips from the tournament, community shout out. So if you're out there and you see somebody do something super cool, or picking up trash, or just was super kind to you that day, if you guys could send us those comments and things, those are things that we want to feature on this talk, because we want to make sure that our community is still here and is still growing, because that's the biggest thing about GRBY. It's a community, and it's awesome, and it's a great place to learn and grow and just make friends that love fishing just as much as you do and are just passionate about sport, and also compete and get bragging rights. So it's incredibly wonderful. One thing you could also do, if you guys, not everyone does it, and that's fine too, but if you are on social media in any shape or form, especially Instagram, if you are on there and you share a reel or something, you can always invite GRBY to be a collaborator on there. So we will also share your stuff, and it also helps promote GRBY. So make sure you guys are doing that. So enough about that. Just if you guys do not know us, a quick introduction
Yeah.
for us is I'm Kayla and this is Chase.
Hi.
He's also known as Southwest Indian Outdoors here on YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else. So we were asked to kind of help out here and there with this, and hopefully there'll be some other faces from the awesome team that's working on it. But we are here throughout the season. We will be here every other Sunday at the same time to bring you tournament updates and a whole bunch of other fun things. So be sure to tune in every other Sunday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So we are going to bring on somebody who works so incredibly hard at all of this stuff and does all the little background stuff. I can't talk tonight. It's fine. To talk about the rules. So welcome to Ryan. Oh, I think he's muted.
I muted myself.
There you go.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's good to hear that from you guys. I like to hear those little stories about everybody's kind of start. I was actually a very similar way. Cole Ritter got me started, and we went to do a river float and actually ran into Jim. Cole kind of started helping Jim, so he knew who Jim was. I had no idea who Jim was, and we actually ran into Brian Spray too.
That's funny.
On that same trip, so we all kind of met on that little trip. So it was kind of cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's just being a mom and just getting into it. It just wouldn't have been possible without GRBY. So, and now I'm just addicted and I find ways to throw my kids everywhere. And I'm like, sorry, I've got to go fish. So it's fine. But we wanted to have you on, especially today, because there are some rule changes, which nothing huge, but there are just a few things that we definitely want to note. And one thing that if you have not fished at all, make sure you sign your waiver. Number one thing to talk about, sign your waiver this year. Get on there because
did you sign?
No, I haven't actually signed mine yet. I was thinking, I gotta go do that. It's on my list.
I gotta put that on my to-do list to start checking the month-long people.
Yes, I gotta go make sure that's on there. But I think one of the biggest rules that is different this year is our launch time rule. So do you want to kind of elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, and if you go to our website, under resources and rules are there. When you pull up the document, I actually highlighted all of the new things for this year. So it's a quick, easy visual for you to pick those out really quick. And I'll just start at the top. It's not really a rule, but we did change entry fees for this year. If you weren't aware, when you start signing up for tournaments, you'll see it went up $5. I didn't break down the fee kind of like we had in the past, but essentially it's a $15 fee that covers PayPal, it covers TourneyX, and it covers the things we fund during the year, championship and dinner and that kind of thing. So it all comes out of that $15. And I think we'd mentioned in our past, if you don't mind me taking a minute, we haven't always been as transparent, maybe, or I'm just too much of a trusting person, so I don't put the information out there like I should. But basically, with that $15 admin fee, I've listed in the rules what it goes to, so it'll help fund all the prizes everybody goes home with at the end of the year at the championship and our dinner and our venue, and we just kind of budget for all that stuff through the year. Trophies, it all kind of adds up pretty quick. So we've had some comments in the past about where all the money's going. I can assure you that you guys won't see a check in the mail, and I still haven't seen mine. I think all this behind the scenes stuff we've been doing. So everybody here that's on these teams that are on the new format or the new group that's on our team page, they're all volunteering their time to help run this club, which is why it makes it so great. So second thing is the time of the length of the tournament is changing. And that's related to the launch rule that you're talking about. So the actual competition period will be 9 hours this year instead of 8. So most everybody should be used to the launch rule, because we had, most of our anglers were at the championship, and we did implement it there just to kind of get everybody used to it. But basically what we're doing is you can get on the water just like any other tournaments. If you guys have participated in any other tournaments in the state, they always have a time you can get on the water and a time you can leave the ramp. And we've never had that. It's been, we've tried to stay flexible, but we've kind of run into some things where, we've had comments in the past. It's hard for us to enforce some rules because we're not all there at once. There are people by themselves on days and everything like that. So this is what we want to do. We're going to try to solve all the problems at once. Or I'm going to set the launch time to be right around first light.
Yeah.
So, and I have set that per lake location. So if there is a little variation being a little farther, west in the state, we'll adjust that time. But you will launch and you will immediately be able to start fishing if you choose to, or you can use that time when it's a little darker to travel still. But you will essentially, by adding that 9 hours, if you don't choose to fish right away, you still have that travel time built in to get to your spots, which most of our series lakes are pretty small. So we don't have anything too big where you're traveling too far, but we still have people paddling and pedaling, don't have motors. So, to give people close to 30 minutes or so to get, somewhere, that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish. So, and just, if you guys have any questions about this, I know when I first started, trying to make sure I don't do anything wrong, you can put your kayak in the water at any time. You can get in your kayak, you can get on the water, you can allow yourself however much time you need prior to that launch time to get everything set up and get out on the water. You just need to stay within sight. And, we're just going to play this by ear. Everybody be reasonable. Whoever you're fishing with that day, whoever's there with you, as long as you guys pick a spot where you're all together, you don't have to worry about how close you are to the ramp. I mean, you still need to be somewhat close to the ramp, but it's not going to be something where we're like, oh, you're too far. Just everybody, cooperate and kind of stay together and then, leave at that time that's set for the tournament. So
yeah, I think that's one of the biggest questions I've seen is, well, what if there's a bunch of people on the same day? So yes, you can get on the water. You just can't leave that area.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Just you talk to everybody for a minute.
Yep. And we're not going to be, we've got it built in here that, we're going to, give you a little bit of a grace period at the beginning for everybody because we do have a lot of people. It's first tournament, first starting up. People forget. So, we'll have a little bit of a grace period and we'll essentially, we'll have timestamps. So if you do leave early and you catch a fish, if you leave early, we're going to basically the first hour of your fish will just not count. We won't DQ you from the whole tournament.
Yeah.
You just won't count that first hour of fish since you got an advantage, over someone else for leaving a little bit early. So we'll play that, we'll play that by ear through the year and we'll work with everybody. And we understand, it's a new rule and we're going to have, some things to deal with. So, the other big thing, which I hope works well, because we've had a lot of requests for this over the years, and with me creating all the tournaments this year myself, I have control of being able to do this, and we think it's going to work. So you still have to sign up before Thursday's lines in, but if something comes up, you are allowed to switch during the tournament. You have to let us know before your line's in that day. You can't go fishing and then decide, well, I want to wait. I want to go another day.
Yeah.
So that message, it's in the rules how to get a hold of me. So that message needs to be time stamped, and that way we know, you had something come up and you need to switch a day. So you can contact me. We will allow you to switch. You just got to, look at the rules, read over that on how you do it, and make sure, it gets done in the proper way.
I like that. It's less pressure for me. I hate picking a day ahead of time, so I always wait till last minute to sign up because I'm like,
Yeah, and we've had guys that, their schedules aren't quite set by the time Thursday lines ins are, and they don't know if they'll be able to, fish on Saturday or not. And, we've had one guy was a lineman, I believe, one year, and then got called out on an emergency call overnight. So we don't want those guys to not be able to fish. Because, they're doing their job, awesome. Keeping our lights on, things like that. So I think if I scroll through quickly, I think those are the highlights.
Yeah,
There
it
was a
seems like it.
question a minute ago. I
Sure.
want to go ahead and answer that. They were asking about where to sign the waiver, and that is on the website. So
Yeah.
you'll go to the GRBY website, and
Yep, it's in the main menu. 2026 waiver.
yep.
Yep, super easy to find.
Mhm.
Yeah, pull that back up. Where did that go? Okay, so if anybody has any questions about the rules or they get nervous, you're welcome to, or if you're nervous about anything, if it's your first tournament, throw them down in the comments. We'll answer them as we can, or through the end. It just kind of depends where we're talking. But
if you
everyone,
are new, focus on the pictures.
Yes, that
Information
is the most important.
Yeah.
Made me nervous. I was really nervous last year because I didn't want to do anything wrong. I hate doing things wrong. So
I strongly suggest get your catch board now. If you don't have it, get it now. Go out and practice measuring fish, because that is the hardest thing to do if you've never measured fish in a kayak. If you've been doing it for a while, you understand. But if you have never measured fish in a kayak, just measuring fish in a kayak is not easy, let alone making sure that you're following the rules on the mouth being fully closed, and keeping the fish from flopping off the board. So it's very important that you start practicing now. While you're out fishing for fun, practice measuring fish. Even throw in a couple fish that are like 8 inches on the board, because you never know when you're going to have that emergency day, and that 8-incher was your 5th fish of the day. So practice measuring a couple of those tiny ones, because they are the hardest fish to measure. And if you're fishing waters with smallmouth, even harder. Smallmouth are so hard to measure because the way their mouth is. They'll just pop it right open. You'll think you've got them pressed against that board good, and bam.
I just have problems with them hopping off. That's fine. But as he was talking about practicing measuring fish, a perfect opportunity to start measuring fish and just getting warmed up is signing up for the month long, which is officially here today. It's officially March. I'm so excited. Days are getting brighter, and we have our March month longs that are going on right now. And whether you are new or you're just ready to shake the dust off and get in the water, the month longs are the absolute perfect opportunity for that. And also something else we need to talk about, because there's new rules in that. Not really rules, but a new divide in that, which is causing some questions. So we'll talk about that. But make sure you get signed up for that if you are going to be out fishing this month. It's easy, no pressure, good practice. Fish while you can. It's a perfect opportunity to really just kind of break back into it this year. So they are all on Tourney X and available to sign up. You can sign up until like the 15th, I think. Is that right?
Yeah, this month especially. We did that all of last year, but I did this month especially because I wasn't sure about ice getting off.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And which it turns out, I think it's going to rain for like a week and a half. So, March is unpredictable. So we got some time to sign up if you still have ice on the lake somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. So the new month, or the month-long format is now, it is North and South regions. But there is a little bit of if you're on that middle line, because we've had questions about that, there is some info on that. If you want to share that, how that's going to work.
Yeah, I don't know if you can pull up that map or not to show.
Maybe I have to do it from your. Yeah, we probably can.
Okay.
It's on the GRBY channel.
If you go to the Tourney X actual tournament, you can click on the map from there.
Tourney X.
Right. But yeah, while you're doing that, basically, and we did, this is all a work in progress, and thanks everyone for sharing what you did on the Facebook page and having that discussion. As Kayla said, there's a lot of those discussions that go on already in the background with us, so it's great to have other input. And we knew that kind of area around Indianapolis, where I live too, is a gray area of people living in that spot and fishing some southern tournaments and some northern tournaments. So we had one line, and we were just going to do north and south of it, but after some discussion, we'll have 2 lines here, and I know it shouldn't be too confusing the way I described it, hopefully, but We're just basically going to have a southern line for the northern tournament, and then a northern line for the southern tournament. So there'll be kind of a section around basically 465 straight across, a little farther north than that, but that if
we
you
should have the map pulled up now. Can you see
there
it?
you go. Yeah, I see it. So for example, in that buffer zone, so to speak, you have Summit, you have Eagle Creek, and you have Raccoon as examples. So those lakes, if you catch a fish in any of those lakes, you can count them to whichever one you might be signed up for. So if you're signed up for the southern one, you can count for the southern one. If you're signed up for the northern one, you can count them for the northern tournament. So I still think that accomplishes what we were trying to do with splitting up the month long, and then still allow some flexibility for people living in that Anderson, Noblesville area that might be kind of fishing both areas. So,
yep.
I think it's a good happy place. Hopefully so.
Yeah.
Let me see. Where did I go? They don't accept the photo if the fish is upside down on the board.
Yeah.
Well, it does have to be a certain way. And making sure your hand is not around that gill plate is also very helpful.
Not under the gill plate,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes it can be a little fishy.
Yeah, I always make sure my hand is on top so that I don't get something under accidentally, and you don't see it on the picture.
Yeah.
Your glove gets under. We've had things like that. So.
Yes, and then let's see.
This one said, "Can I fish the harbors on Lake Michigan for the month long?"
Good question.
I don't know.
I'm not familiar with. Look at it.
I saw a small town Indiana ask about Tourney X being similar to Fishing Chaos. There are some similarities, but why don't you message me? I know we talk pretty frequently anyway. Message me and I can talk to you about how to do it. But they're similar. You're
Very
still
similar.
taking pictures of fish and uploading. It's just a little bit of a different format for the actual tournaments.
I find Tourney X much easier to use, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's super.
I know some people that have used Chaos first and they go over to Tourney X, say that Tourney X is harder. In my opinion, Tourney X is a lot easier to use.
On the water app, it's a lot, for submitting.
Yeah, it's super easy to just click and upload it. And
as far as the harbor thing, I'm not familiar with that area, but if it's within Indiana state lines, yes. That I think is a pretty simple rule. It's got to be in Indiana. So
yep.
I know there's a short, just looking at the map, it looks like there's a short area that it does fall within. But I don't know enough about that area to answer that, other than it just needs to be in state lines.
Jim made sure to mention must wear the life jacket fully secured. Yes, you can't just have the life jacket on you, not zipped. It's got to be completely zipped if it's a zip up. Fully secured on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's defined in the rules as well. If it has a zipper, it's got to be zipped.
Yep.
That's what we kind of defined it as. It's pretty clear in there. We've had to define those over the years. One more thing that did come up last year, if you are signed up for a month-long tournament, obviously we want you wearing your life jacket at all times. You should be wearing it at all times, even if you're fun fishing. But if you're signed up for the month-long tournament and you're out fun fishing and someone sees you without a life jacket, that's a disqualification. We can't have, we have no way of knowing. You can't be like, oh, I'm not submitting fish, for the tournament today. No, if you're on the water, you're signed up for a month long, it's got to be on. Yep. All the rules apply for what you signed up for. So,
yes, for sure.
Yep.
It's just better. Like I said, you should be wearing it anyway. Stay safe on the water. And that'd be way too hard to figure out. So while you guys are on here, when you get off, go sign up for the month long.
Yes,
get some good practice in. I have not yet myself, because I'm not actually sure if we'll get to fish much this month. That's the only reason why I haven't, or else I would do it just to get back into it.
I signed up today, so I do.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Into it.
We have a couple. Most of our weekends are gone this month with some kid things. So I'm like, if I'm actually going to get to fish, but which
So
is sad.
Steven Sturgeon brought up something to clarify. If your phone takes the picture sideways or upside down, should I rotate the picture or submit it as is?
The answer right now is submitted as is. There was some information put out by Dwayne on TourneyX that Jim and I are actually going to be testing some of it as part of this month long. But as of right now, don't modify your picture. Don't worry about if it's upside down. The judges have tools to flip the picture and do all that. So don't worry about that. Just submit the original as is.
Yeah, I've been told that it will actually flag it as a modified picture. So
it pains me though to not.
I know it does.
It like hurts my.
I always take multiple pictures and I make sure that one is actually in landscape before I throw it back in the water.
I don't know how to do that when I'm taking a picture.
I make sure.
I actually had a problem one time when I was into the tournament and I had been catching fish a lot and I didn't rotate them. Well, still my OCD set in when I went to submit them, so I rotated them. Well, it didn't change the timestamps for some reason with Signal. It didn't make a copy where it kept the same timestamp. So I had Hillenbrand going, "What are you doing? You're submitting fish after lines in." I'm like, "No, I didn't." So I had to go back and look, and so good to that point. Yeah, just don't modify them. You're better off not modifying. Yeah.
Send them. Yeah. One thing I struggled with was making sure, like knowing which fish was which, like, because they were all right beside each other. And I took like 5 pictures of each just to make sure I got everything I needed. So I always recommend like throwing in a random snap of something to. Like,
I did that for the longest time, but actually now I just use the live well in the TourneyX app.
Sometimes I don't do it instantly. I kind of wait just a little bit if something's. But I probably start doing that more. Yeah. Just putting
you don't have to have Signal for it to send or anything.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That way I know, and then that way I can look real quick and go, okay, I know what length I need, and then I'm not scrambling at the end of the tournament trying to go through all my pictures. So that's a good tip for anybody starting out too. Before you form a habit, just use the live well, submit it to it.
Yeah,
submit them as you go.
Yep.
Sounds easier, especially if you can check.
If you want to sandbag like Steve Martin, you can. Nobody can see him.
Yeah, right.
The fish, they're just sitting in your live well. You can submit them later if you want to hide them.
What's the process to put on a rain jacket when you have to take off your PFD to do so? Go to the shore, and that's a question from Kyle.
Okay. Yeah, you don't need to go to the shore. You just need to take lines out of the water. Don't be in the process of fishing. Don't be moving. Don't be under power. You can take your life jacket off, take your jacket off, put it on, whatever you need to do, and just put your life jacket right back on.
Yep. Yeah. That is a good question, though, because it's one I had myself when I first started. I was like, I think it was just coats, regular coats. So I was like, I don't want to get in trouble. I don't even see anything.
Yeah, I hear you, John. John said he's fishing it whether it's raining or not. Rain doesn't scare him. And that's how I feel. I said, I've got to find a way to get out next week.
Ready to get out this
rain
week.
Or shine. I'll be fishing one day for sure.
Oh, I'm actually excited about it. I didn't mean to say it was going to be bad because where I want to go when the water gets up, I want to get down there and warm creek water. So
yeah.
Okay, and so let's see.
Tom threw out another tip for those that are new, and if you're new to GRBY, and especially if this is going to be your first year fishing a tournament ever, please throw it up there. Like say, hey, I'm brand new to this, and like we're excited to get new people into this. But Tom brought up cover the camera with your hand in between fish to separate. Something along the lines of that. So as you take a picture, some people will put a 1, and then the second fish they'll put a 2, and it just puts that separation between each fish.
Yes, but then you have to go back through and remember what size each one was. So the live well also works better for that. You don't have to sit there and remember the size.
Yes, agreed. But it keeps you from uploading the same fish twice as well.
Yeah.
All
Trust me, it's far less frustrating, and it takes far less time to just put it in the live well for a few seconds than to go fumble through all your pictures later.
Yep.
It's true.
Agreed.
It's true. I need to start doing that this year. I didn't think I fully understood the live well last year, so I didn't really utilize that one. So definitely do that this year. So something new and super exciting this year is we have the GRBY year-long team tournament, which is incredible. I was looking at it and there are already 37 anglers signed up, which is incredible. I love that. And that's another one we haven't assigned. We're slackers. We're slacking big time this year.
I've had people reach out to me on my personal page a lot lately talking about that. They're really excited about that team tournament. And I think that's going to be a blast.
Yeah.
It was really popular at the championship, so we kind of wanted to extend that to the regular season.
That's cool. I was wondering how that came about, where that came from. So for anybody who doesn't know, GRBY is going to do a year-long team tournament. It runs all season. You are on a team of 3. They are randomly drawn, and the rule is the fish must be caught during a regular season series event. So if I'm fishing bluegrass, those fish will count for that. If I go to bogs, those fish will count for that. Yep. And it's your best 10 fish, right? Is what's submitted to your team? Yeah.
Yep. So just to clarify that and hit that point really hard, month-longs don't count. So the point of this is it's got to be a fish caught during one of our events that are within one of our regions. So normal series lakes during tournament hours, so that everybody's fishing the same times and all that. The one caveat to that I have not updated yet, that we were just talking about before we got on live, is and we can maybe talk about that here in a minute when we talk about it, but there is going to be 4 more tournaments this year that are currently not on the schedule that we're going to talk about here in a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and count those fish as far as being able to submit them to this team tournament.
So just month-longs is the only thing that don't
month-longs is the only thing that won't count that we're going to be running this year.
Yes.
So I see that Man vs. Fish brought up a good point again for new anglers. Phone tethers are a must-have, and that is for sure. We know from experience, she lost her phone in the water. So you definitely want to have a phone tether because you're going to be pulling your phone in and out of your PFD. I'm really bad about dropping stuff randomly. I've lost multiple GoPro batteries in the water from that. So phone tether saved my phone many, many times.
And get a good tether because it matters.
Yes.
Those things are expensive. You don't want to lose one. We know. Let's see.
John Fuchs said, how do you know who's on your team? So the names will be drawn after the deadline, correct?
Yeah. So March 14th right now is the deadline we have by midnight, 11:59 p.m. You need to be signed up by then. And then I think we have about a week, maybe 2 weeks before the first series tournament starts. So somewhere in between then, we'll get the wheel put together. We'll do a little live with you guys. And just like we do if you're familiar with what we do for the championship, we do a little draw. So you'll get put on a random team by spinning a wheel.
That's awesome. I'm excited. I don't know. It just seems fun. And I think it's a good way to keep track of your best. How cool is that? You can see your best fish throughout the whole season right there.
Steven Sturgeon asked if nets are allowed. Yes, nets are allowed.
Yep. Yeah, it's a cool concept. So basically, we'll all get to stack our best 10 fish for the year up against everybody.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And last year, I did not catch enough giants to have mattered. So hopefully this year I can change that for whoever I end up teaming up with.
I would have loved to have seen it because, those weren't. Never mind, because those weren't in tournaments, so they wouldn't count. But I was going to say I would have loved to have seen it because I would have been like, haha, I caught more 20s than you.
You did catch a 20 in a tournament.
I did?
One of the tournament days. Yeah, you ended up missing out on big fish. The one I did was
the one that hopped.
You missed out on big fish by like a half inch.
That's right. That's right. So
what happened to bluegrass a lot?
I also caught
go ahead. Sorry. No, go ahead.
I got another 20-inch and it flopped off the board.
Yeah.
I laid it on the board and I seen its tail go over 20 and I was like, oh, this is like my first fish of the day. And I was like ecstatic. And I went to grab my phone, and normally another tip is to put your net at the end of your catch board. And so I normally do that. For whatever reason, I did not do that day. And it just flopped when I went to grab my phone and just flopped right into the lake. And it was the most heartbreaking thing.
But I was going to say the big part, and it's in bold in the tournament description. So if you sign up for the year-long tournament, there is a must-read. I even put it in big, bold, capital letters. You have to, if I don't know if any of you have done this before, but if you're going to be signed up for a GRBY tournament, and you're going to be signed up for this year-long tournament at the same time. So when you go to submit a picture, there's an option for you to click, like check mark the GRBY tournament you're in and the year-long tournament at the same time. So when you submit that fish, it's submitted one time. And if I can explain why that is very, very important, is it helps with judging. If you check both those boxes at the same time and submit the fish once, then the judge judges it once and it goes to both tournaments. If you submit it to one and get out and then submit it to the other, now that fish has to be judged twice. And then we run the risk of one judge might be judging it in this tournament and another one of our judges is judging it for the year long. And maybe there's the tail is just at the mark and one judge says it's there and one judge says it's not. Now we've got the same fish, with two different lengths. So we've got it in there that, we are going to give everyone a grace period for their very first tournament of every series. So judges will reach out, to you and say, hey, you're not submitting these right. I'm having to judge the fish twice. But once we get past those first tournaments, then it simply won't count for the team tournament if you submit it separately. So, we're going to do our best to work with you and educate everybody on what needs to be done. Or wait, maybe it's not. Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think. I've got so much information. If you don't do it in the same, yeah, I think it's fine. We'll still accept the fish. It's if you don't have the identifier. We need to have the identifier, and we need you submitting it twice or not submitting it twice. So.
Yes, which is going to be so much easier anyways. I love that they did that where you can just click and then submit it. It makes everything so much easier. It's just done. So there's no reason not to. Just get in the habit and just do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm kind of hoping that the random draw is really good to me and I get Teresa and Emma and us girls just kick all your guys' butts this year because that would be fun. Won't happen, but it'd be fun. The team tournament is $45.
Same price, $45.
$45. So, and it will run until the very last
one. Yep.
Tournament. So.
And as Ryan had mentioned, I mean, it's such a fun thing at the championship. So, having it year long, I think it's just going to be a blast. It's more about the fun of seeing your numbers going up there and just seeing what the other people on your team just happen to catch.
Ultimate bragging rights, guys. Come on. Let's get you guys signed up for it. So if you haven't, go do that because that'll be fun, especially if you're going to be fishing events anyways. You can just kind of double dip here and do both of them.
Yeah, so you can submit your same fish that you catch for GRBY. You can submit to KBF as well. There's nothing that would keep that from happening. GRBY doesn't have a specific identifier that's required. So if you put your identifier on the KBF identifier that is required, GRBY will accept those fish.
Yep, it's just different apps. So you'll have to, because KBF does Fishing Chaos. So you just have to do it separately.
All you have to have is the identifier.
Yes.
But you can't submit. You can't submit. So it's going to create all kinds of little caveats. The answer, yes, you can, but for our team tournament, that fish has to be caught during tournament hours of a tournament. So
yes,
the KBF fish you might be fishing at different times or on different lakes. So that's the only thing. Like you can't. It'll count if you caught it during one of our tournaments, basically.
Yes, that's a good clarification because I didn't think about reading it that way. I just read it as the other way.
Things we think about.
Jim said life jacket over the top of the raincoat so the life jacket can be seen if possible. And he meant to send that earlier when we were talking about it, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. Just so we don't.
It's in the rules that you only have to have the inflatable over top, but
Yeah.
So if you got a light rain passing through and you throw your life jacket or your jacket on over,
It's fine.
you know, your foam life jacket, that's fine. You know, as the
Yeah, and trust me, you don't ever want to risk getting DQ'd over a life jacket.
Yes.
I remember last year, so Chase won the last bluegrass tournament last year, and Chris was mean to him, and it was so funny because he messaged him and said, "We actually got a thing that said you weren't wearing your life jacket." He was like, "I always wear my life jacket."
I've worn mine for 5 years of kayak fishing.
But just that feeling, like you don't want that. You don't want to
Yeah.
do really good and then not do it. Just wear it. Not wanting to let that guy Drew said, I think that not wanting to let your team down will have a lot of people grinding hard. I agree.
Definitely.
It just adds a whole new fun aspect to all of it. So
yeah,
I love that. Okay, so you got till March 14th to do that. So you want to get on and do that, and let me see.
And I assume that's Eastern time. It's March 14th at 11:59. So I'm going to assume that's Eastern time. So make sure if you're on Central, you realize that's 11 p.m. our time. So make sure you are on it.
Just do it. Just do it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Sign up now. We're going to sign up this week. So
yes, we are.
We'll sign up for that, and we'll for sure be fishing the bluegrass tournaments, and maybe we'll dip our toes in some of the month-longs too. So.
We definitely will here and there. Sometimes that gets a little bit harder. We just sometimes I'm like, man.
Steven, no, belt PFDs are not allowed. It has to be one of the vest types. So it can be inflatable. Inflatable's fine, but it has to be the vest type inflatable or the normal, foam core PFDs.
So for the month-longs, there is not a lines in and lines out time, correct?
Just the start and the end. We're when we're talking about the lines, that's for the team tournament only. So there's an extra, qualification for the team tournament that you have to catch them during a tournament. But for the month long, it's wide open, lines in on the beginning of the month and lines out at the end. So.
Yep. Absolutely. I just want to make sure somebody asked that question. So making sure I wasn't wrong there. But yes, there's no specific time. You can fish day or night. So yeah, get out there and catch those fish. Okay. So on to the new, the 4 new tournaments we're doing this year. You want to tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah. So it's the same kind of alluded to it on IKBN's live that they did. We're going to be working closely with Indiana Kayak Bass Nation this year. So I have blocked off their weekends. So we don't have any GRBY tournaments those weekends. And we tried this last year with we did some team events last year. We had some requests for people wanting to kind of get together during the year, kind of like we do at the championship, and get to camp and hang out since we all don't see each other when we're fishing. So that didn't go over as well as we'd hoped. So this year, what we're going to do is it's going to be like a club benefit. It's going to be a fundraiser for the club. We're going to run a normal 5-day tournament during the weekend on the same lakes that Indiana Kayak Bass Nation is holding their event on. So the first one this year will be at Patoka. So we will run a 5-day tournament on Patoka that you can do what I'm going to do, which is I'm going to go pre-fish probably on Thursday for the bass event. And I'll sign up for our club benefit, and we'll do. I'll submit fish during my pre-fishing, give me a little extra motivation to wake up early and actually try to catch some fish instead of sleeping in. So we're going to run those at each of the 4 bass events. So let me pull this up here so I don't miss any information. We're kind of still throwing some of the specifics together on this, and I went to go try to put the tournament up before this, and I ran out of time.
No, you're good. We can always come back and highlight them later again. But
basically, what we're going to do with this is going to be a $45 entry, just like everything else. $25 of that entry is going to go to the club. Part of the fees for Tourney X and PayPal are going to come out of that as well. And we're going to use that to fund our championship dinner, trophies, all that stuff we need to do for the year, so we can kind of continue to, provide a funding source for us that doesn't rely on sponsors. The fishing industry kind of having some troubles right now. We want to kind of put a model together that we can be kind of self-sustainable. So, and have some fun on bass weekends, and all get to hang out. So, $45 entry, $20 will go to the pot. And then we're going to split that up. We kind of did a lot of talking in the background, and we're going to have 4 prizes that come out of that $20 that comes out of the entry. 25% will go to the winner. 25% will go to Big Bass. We're going to have 25% go to whoever has the most culls.
Okay.
And so you'll want to be submitting all those fish to Tourney X. Obviously, you're going to if you're going to upgrade. But submit those small ones in the morning, and then you can call them, and you might win 25% of the pot. And then we're going to do 25% to the smallest limit as well.
Which is fun. Micro bags are fun.
And
I actually hate catching small fish, though, because they are always the floppiest. I hate measuring them, but he loves it. He loves it.
Yeah. I like busting out the BFS.
And then we're going to have Drip Fish, which is also owned by Walton Rods. The company's owned by the same. They're both sponsors. They're putting up $100 per tournament. And we'll have some more information coming out on this. But essentially, you're going to have a bingo card of sorts. You're going to have a 5x5 grid of fish length values between 11 to 14 is what I got now. Maybe 11 to 15. We're kind of playing around with that. But you're going to have random values all over this card. And then as you catch them during the tournament, it's going to be the angler's responsibility. After the tournament is fine. You mark off your card, take a picture of it, share it on social media. First person to get 5 in a row on that card will win $100.
It's awesome.
I think that's a fun little thing. We kind of want these tournaments to be fun, and come out and, fish these bigger lakes. And sometimes these bigger lakes, we catch a little bit smaller fish at times. So it give you a chance to win some money there. And if we don't have a winner, if we don't get a winner to fill out 5 on that tournament, we'll carry it to the next tournament. You'll keep the same card, and it'll be a $200 prize for the second one. And then the last thing we're going to do, and we hope that everybody likes this. I don't know. It's kind of mixed bag with our admin, whether or not this was going to work or not. But we wanted some other stuff to give away, and maybe some little advantages or something. Austin's a big Survivor fan, so he loved this. We'll give everybody a little bit of an advantage for the championship that you can win. So we're going to do for the first fish by timestamp, and it's going to count for. I know ours run over 5 days, but we're still going to use the timestamp. So if you catch it, doesn't matter what day you catch it, if you catch it first, you're going to win a 5-minute head start at the championship. So we have this launch rule. So say it's 7 a.m. launch, you're going to get 5 minutes head start to travel to your spot. So we're going to do 4 of those, and you win those by catching the smallest fish. And then we're going to draw 4 at random from each tournament. Also for that 5-minute head start at the championship. So we'll have 8 total spots for people signed up at the championship to leave that ramp or whatever ramp you're at 5 minutes early.
People are gonna love it or hate it or both, but either way, it's fine. It's fine. I love the bingo card. I love games. We play all kinds of games in this household, and it's harder for us to travel around, but I'm definitely probably gonna have to at least find one because I want to go do that so bad.
So going the Survivor route, I guess could we sacrifice the 5 minutes on us and make somebody else wait at the ramp?
5 minutes longer.
We
that
could
would actually be hilarious.
Yeah, we could. I mean, we were still kind of brainstorming some different things. We might have some little fun things like that to add, just as kind of randoms or something you can fish for. But the big thing is, and I don't think I mentioned it yet, is simply signing up. So if you're someone that can't travel to all these locations, signing up, helping benefit the club, every sign up for every tournament gets you an entry into winning a waterbound kayak trailer.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. I was actually going to talk about them tonight. We are going to do a special highlight on them. He's been talking to them about getting some video
Yeah.
clips and talking to the owner for sure. But I definitely still wanted to mention them tonight because that is incredible. Kayak trailers are a game changer. Being able to haul it around so much easier than throwing it on top of a minivan, which we've done, or in the back of a truck, which is okay. But having the trailer is just so nice. So that's an awesome prize. You can't beat that. So
and this will be separate from the one we do at the championship. This is a
so there's
completely separate trailer. This is so all the entries for this trailer will come from these club benefit tournaments. So you can get an entry fee by just signing up.
Yeah.
And that'll get you an entry into his base model single kayak trailer. It's a custom build, so from that you can pay for any upgrades you want and customize it how you want. We will also, because of our partnership with Bass, be giving you an extra entry if you're fishing the Bass tournament at that same location that week. So you have the opportunity to get 2 entries into that trailer for the weekend.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I'm not sure if I'll do that. I'm a little nervous about doing the Indiana Kayak Bass Nation one. I feel like that might be for me next year, but
just gotta land on the right spot.
I know. We're still working on that. We'll see. So
I think that's all we got so far for that. These are the tournaments we alluded to earlier that any fish caught during these tournaments, you can submit those to the team tournament if you're in them. So these will be the only 4 tournaments that aren't our normal series that will count towards that. And then we have loose plans right now, not a lot of details. Trying to work that out with Merlin yet, but wherever Bass holds their events or their awards on Saturday. So if you're still around, if you're pre-fishing or if you're doubling up on Saturday for both this tournament and Bass's tournament, we'll try to have some food, probably just burgers or something, hot dogs, that kind of thing, wherever they're holding awards. This is kind of the plan for now. So kind of get that aspect of us all coming together on that Bass weekend. And whether you're fishing on Friday and sticking around and not fishing bass and just want to come hang out, or if you're fishing bass, we'll all be there.
That's awesome. I love that. I love getting to hang out with other anglers and talk about it, because apparently everyone else thinks we talk about fishing too much. So it's good to be around people that get us.
Yeah, they don't roll their eyes every time you talk.
Right? Oh, fishing again.
Or, start spacing out, not listening.
So true. So if you guys, I'm getting ready to go over the first 4 tournaments that are coming up in March. But if you guys have any questions, drop them now and we will try to get to them about rules, about the tournaments, about locations, anything that you have questions about. Feel free to drop them. You got Ryan here who writes most of the rules setting right here. So now is the perfect time to ask your questions. So drop them there. But we have 4 tournaments in March that are coming. One of them is Bluegrass, which I'm excited about because that is our home lake. So Bluegrass, all these events in March run from 3/26 through 3/30. You can sign up now. They're all up and ready to sign up. I was checking that out earlier. So we have Bluegrass, which is down here in Evansville, Indiana. And I'm going to say this wrong because I don't. Worcester. I always want to say it Worcestershire. I'm not going to lie. And I don't know why, but my brain does that. But Oyster Lake, which is in our northwest region, that one is coming up. Johnson County Public Waters. So that one is a little bit different this year too. So you can fish any public waters in Johnson counties that are not rivers in that area for that one. That is our southeast region. And then Blue Lake is in our northeast region. That is coming up in March. So get your kayaks ready. It's going to be warmer this week, even if it's going to be rainy. And let's get going.
Jim said, explain the regional tracking and how that works.
Yeah, I mean, it might be a subject for later to get into. But if you look at our schedule, on the schedule page, it's organized by region. So you'll have 4 tournaments for, say, the Southwest region where you guys are. So if you compete across those 4 series, you got 20 tournaments total. It's going to be your best 8, I think, is what we did. Best 8 finishes.
Yeah.
To qualify for that, and then that'll get you a prize package at the end of the year, trophy for the regional AOIs.
Are we doing the Hobie Hammer this year?
I believe so. We're still working on all that with sponsors. Running a little later this year, so we will be doing some sort of big bass thing like that, exactly like that. I just don't know if it's going to be a kayak or not. We'll have some sort of prize, but we will be doing, yeah. So if you catch a big bass during a tournament, one of our regular series tournament, you'll get put in the drawing for something.
Sounds good. Yeah, and let's see. I think that's it. I don't see very many questions, which is crazy, but that's okay. It means we're doing out there.
Again, if you're new, make sure you shout it out in the comments. Can you explain the new launch rules for tournament day?
So we kind of went over that earlier.
Yeah.
It's you just have to stay at the launch. You can get on the water, but you have to stay at the launch until till it's time, and then you can start fishing right away, or you can use that extra hour for traveling around. So you have 9 hours instead of 8 hours. But yes, you still pick your day. It's just on that day you have to stay at the launch until that time.
And we got Small Town Indiana ask about fishing 2 tournaments that are going on at the same time, but picking different days. Yes, you can do that. So if you want to sign up for 5 tournaments in a week because there are 5 different ones going on and you fish each one a different day, go for it.
There's only 4. That's impossible.
I was going to say there's only 4. You get a day off. Yes, absolutely. He is going to come down and fish bluegrass with us, so we're excited about that.
The tournament spread, that could get pretty interesting. Worcester down to bluegrass if it falls on the same week. All those, pretty good travel in that. Yeah,
lots of travel.
Yeah, sounds like a horrible time. No sleep.
If you want to fish multiple, go for it.
Yeah, and so they are structured that, obviously our motto is that you get to stay close to home. So you only have 1 tournament each week that's in your region. If you live on one of the lines, you might be close to 2 of them and everything. But it's kind of structured so you have 1 to fish every week, possibly.
Yeah, he's actually up in the Indy area, but he's going to make his way down and fish bluegrass, and it'll be his first ever tournament, and he's wanting to kind of come see what it's like fishing the tournament. So
we're excited.
I live in the Indy area too, so I get kind of tempted by everything to. I'm close. I'm not real close to anything, but I'm close to everything that I can fish in different regions. So.
Yeah, we feel far away from we feel like we don't even live in Indiana sometimes.
We really need to go fish West Boggs because that's the only other close one for us.
We'll definitely be at that one some this year. So looking forward into the future GRBY Talks, we will be doing. We'll be talking to winners. As long as they want to come on. Obviously, we're not going to make anybody come on and talk if you're not comfortable with that, but we want to have you guys on here. We want to tell your stories, and we'll give updates, and we'll talk more about all these fundraiser tournaments and things that are coming on as more things develop. But we are so excited that you guys are on tonight, and we are so ready to get this tournament season going. So we thank you for joining us on our first official GRBY Talk of 2026. So excited. Is there anything else that you think we need to hit?
I don't think so. Yeah, we just got the deadlines coming up for the team tournament sign up, and wanted to get everybody.
Tell us to stop slacking and actually get signed.
This will be our last reminder on GRBY Talk for that, because the next GRBY Talk will actually be the 15th, and that's the day after the deadline.
Which might be a good day to draw.
Here's your reminder, as long as they've got the list put together. Yeah. But here's your reminder. This is the last chance to make sure you sign up for that by the 14th.
Yes. Yep. Do it. The more teams, the more fun it's going to be.
So Kyle Turner asked about a specific ID card. No, we don't have to have it on a card. You can literally write it on your hand. I can remember it being written on a can of Spam before. Like, people can write their IDs on anything. I think I've seen it on like a Cheetos bag. I mean,
a banana.
Get creative, as long as it's not inappropriate, because I know that happened one time.
Make sure that you have something with you to write in case you lose your identifier too, because you have to have that to be able to submit your fish. But yes, it can be on anything. We personally love our 10 identifiers. They're great. So.
Yeah, and I've been dragging my feet. Well, partly because the sponsors aren't quite set yet, but I need to get with Emma to get a graphic over her.
I got tired of it being mushy the paper always got mushy because
Yeah.
it was in a little bag. I always got mushy. So I'm done
Well,
with that.
and I did find hers floating on
Yes.
the lake tournament day one
Yes.
time, you know. So
Because the Velcro sucked, and it was just I didn't even know I'd lost it. He's like, "Hey, where's your identifier?"
yeah, 10 tags are way better.
Let's see. Oh, okay. I don't see any more questions. I think they're just talking amongst themselves. So thank you so much, Ryan, for joining us tonight and going over all of this. So excited. Let's get the season started.
Yeah.